Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Acc Monday, 14th of June 2021. We're looking at the front of the papers. First up, New York Times, pictures of some women in Brooklyn looking at a memorial for COVID victims. Netanyahu's been ousted as Prime Minister in Israel. G7 story about the Trump Justice Department obtaining Apple data on his chief counsel. New York mayor's race, no ingredients, big problems. Starbucks are having problems with supply chain, so they're taking some stuff off the menu. Maybe this will be the thing that will finally radicalise the middle classes, let's see. Very rare to tell any of you to go to the NYT opinion section, but today there is one from Ezra Klein that's basically advertising universal basic income, advocating for it, so highly recommend going and reading that. New York Times International Edition, opinion piece about Afghanistan, story about the FBI seizing that cryptocurrency, picture from Portugal, story about a racist mural in the Tate. They've had to close off the restaurant because of the mural there. They're having a bit of a problem with it, and they can't open it. It normally provides $1 million a year, the restaurant, so losing a bit of money. Wall Street Journal, Joe and Jill went up the hill to meet Lizzie there at the weekend. That looks nice. G7 story, Israel story, tennis, chip shortage story, virus variant naming story, USA Today, something about ending myths of white skin being ideal for ink, okay. Fertility doctors secretly fathering. That doesn't sound good. Cecil B. Jacobson was convicted in Virginia of using his own sperm to inseminate patients. Crazy. Biden Johnson G7 talk. Survey of people who would eat cicadas, their bugs. Looks like about 23% of people super into it. Guess I might try it, although I'm a vegetarian. Don't know how that works out. Washington Post, some people looking very happy there. Netanyahu's 12-year tenure comes to an end. Picture of Joe and Lizzie there as well from the weekend. Tennis, same story. Toronto Star, provincial zoning powers benefiting developers with ties to politicians. Yep, same all over the world. Fight to compensate Indigenous children back in court. It's going to be some kind of class action lawsuit. They're only going to give $10,000 Canadian dollars to each person who was wrapped up in it. It was 160,000 children between the 1800s and the 1900s. Kind of crazy. Netanyahu Israel story. The Australian allies rally to Prime Minister's call on China. Okay, everyone getting the knives out again for China. Wuhan lab video shows live bats in cage. Okay, there's going to be some repercussions from this. They said they didn't have live bats in there, but it turns out they did. Peter Daszak, of course, is playing a big part in this. He denied this all, but he said it was all a conspiracy theory that they had live bats. They knew they were studying coronaviruses, but also they funneled $600,000 of taxpayers' money to that lab, so possibly America funded the research and the bat lab. Financial Times, Israel Netanyahu story. There's the new guy, Naftali Bennett, whispering to his mate. Biden, Western allies bid to counter Chinese influence, yada yada. BNP Paribas pressed by leading wine exporter over loss-making forex trades. Something like this wine producer lost 75 million euro, but the bank made 100 million euro on the trades to do with the currency, so they're taking them to court. Anything else there that we wanted to cover? Tickets to join Bezos in space goes for $28 million. There you have it. The future is now. Irish Times, picture of the beach yesterday. Ice cream men making lots of money. EU leaders confront Johnson over the Northern Ireland Protocol. Alrighty. Not much else there this morning. Irish Examiner, human interest story. Something about an airport in Kerry. People from Britain will have to quarantine. Irish Independent, some people in Enniskerry, they're going to start shooting a Disney movie there. That's why it looks like a movie set in the background. More play outdoors, blamed for E. coli rise. More kids getting E. coli because they're playing outside. Maybe that's good for their immune system. Winter top-up jab for COVID. Irish Daily Mail, Oprah, Harry, Meghan story. New powers for Gardaí, that's the police. This is something that's happening all over the world, wanting to pass more powers to give the police more laws to kind of do whatever they want. It's been passed in Switzerland, it's on the books in Britain, it's going to come on the books now in Ireland. They're going to push for it. The Irish Sun, footballer had a heart attack but he survived. Guardian, lockdown, football, G7, tennis, Netanyahu, Independent, Netanyahu, unlocking, weddings being postponed. My verdict on GB News' first night. That's a new right-wing news channel. It's kind of like Fox News that's launched in the UK. It's only on satellite though, so I won't be watching it. Football, G7, Times, football, Joe, Jill and Lizzie. For some reason Jill is standing way off to the left. That looks extremely awkward. Lockdown, Northern Ireland row, Mars final day of G7, okie dokie. Daily Telegraph, football, Freedom Day. Public are tired of virtue signalling police, says top officer. Okay, today's culture war issue has arrived. Macron lashes out at Johnson in trade row as G7 comes to a close. Supposedly Macron said to Boris, like, how would you like it if Northern Ireland can't sell sausages, British sausages? And Boris said, well, what would you say if the government in France said you couldn't sell French sausages in Toulouse? And supposedly Macron said, well, that's not a good comparison because both those places are in the same country. Oh, take that, Boris. Daily Mail, some people out watching the football, having pints, love to see it. Daily Mirror, football, Joe has a cuppa with the Queen, viruses, Metro, football, show some respect, diplomatic war of words with France Mars end of G7 summit. Thankfully, that's it for the day. If you want to stay off corporate media, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.